Politics is often loud, but today I want to do something different. I want to look at Narendra Modi governance like a quiet neutral observer. I'm not being someone with the right wing philosophy and with someone having left wing centrist philosophy. Not as a supporter, not as a critic, just as a citizen trying to understand what has worked and what has not. Every government has strength, every government has weaknesses, and a mature democracy requires us to see the both. So let's explore five major wins of Modi time in power and five major criticism that analysts and citizens have raised. The first win is welfare delivery and DBT improvements. One of the biggest shift under Modi rule has been the improvements in how welfare is discovered. Jan Dhan account, Aadhaar, mobile payment created an ecosystem that where government money goes directly into the hands of citizen without middlemen. This reduced corruption, leakage and delays. The LPG subsidy program, rural toilet construction, housing support and free food distribution touched millions of lives, and they were some of the basic necessities which India required after their independence. This model, sometimes called Jam Trinity, which changed how India reaches its poor. My neutral view: implementation improved, delivery became faster, more benefits actually reached people. So, the next one is infrastructure expansion. Another clear win has been infrastructure. It is one of the biggest wins of Modi government after the digital India concept. Highways and expressway expanded quickly. Railways introduced Vande Bharat trains, modern station, cleaner facilities. Airport multiplied across smaller cities. Rural electrification and optical fiber connectivity reached deeper into the country. People may disagree on the politics, but the visible infrastructure growth is hard to ignore. India is building faster than before, visibly and at scale. The third win is strong position in global politics. The strong global diplomacy. Modi's global diplomacy is one of his most praised strengths. India balanced relations with the US, Russia, Europe, Middle East, and African nations. During crises like Russia, Ukraine, or COVID, India held an independent voice. Whether someone like Modi or not, India's global presence, branding, and confidence have been increased. India is more assertive and respected on the world stage now than before. And you can clearly see many people argue that Modi does not have any vision. Modi does not have any charisma or charm. We can actually search for a list where Modi got highest civilian honors. Okay, I will give the list of honors and awards received by Modi. It is one of the highest for any world leader. Like he got his first honor from Saudi Arabia, Order of King Abdulaziz. This is the second highest civilian honor of Saudi Arabia. Then from Afghanistan, Palestine, Maldives, United States, Arab Emirates, Bahrain, United States, Legion of Merit. Chief Commander, the highest degree of the Legion of Merit. Fiji, Papua New Guinea, Egypt, France, Greece, Bhutan, Russia, Nigeria, Dominica, Guyana, Kuwait, Barbados, Mauritius, Sri Lanka, Cyprus, Ghana, Trinidad and Tobago, Brazil, Namibia. Kathmandu, Houston, they are some key to the city awards. So it is clearly seen that he got more civilian honor award than anyone else of his respective position. And this is his charisma which attracts world leaders and diplomacy. Then digital public infrastructure revolution, DPI. UPI changed how India pays. Aadhaar enabled massive scale digital identity. COVID showed the world how digital vaccination systems can work. This is one of the most underpaid and underutilized achievement of Modi's government, the vaccination drive. And the way government has handled COVID-19. They have handled COVID in such a better way than any other government could handle. Millions of small vendors now use QR codes. Small businesses accept online payment without fees. Anyone, if you go any part of India, they accept UPI. Digital governance is working at a billion person scale. And India has become a global example of digital transformation. Up to 2024, there was a political stability and decisive governance. For a decade, India experienced strong political stability, GST, involuntary code, Article 370 removal, Operation Sindoor, and many large policy moves require strong political capital, something not possible in weak coalition governments. Now, in 2025, the coalition government is not weak, it is much stronger than any other coalition existing. Whether these policies are good or bad, it is a debate, but the ability to take decisive action is a clear difference from earlier fragmented politics. So, my neutral takeaway for the wins, Modi government has the ability to act decisively, for better or worse, and they are quite much more aggressive than UPA government. They are aggressive toward China, they are aggressive toward Pakistan, and any other nation. Like we can also see in the Operation Sindoor. Like I should mention the Operation Sindoor, but okay, this is more political. Now the five big criticisms of Modi: unemployment and economic stress. One of the biggest concern of India's job. Many vacancies are still there in the Indian government, and youth is not getting any kind of job. India's GDP grows, but job creation has not kept pace with the rising youth population. Many young people feel trapped in unstable employment, especially in private sector roles and competitive exams. Small businesses face disruption during demonetization and COVID. Economic inequality has increased a lot. Though our GDP is growing very much, it is nearly 4 trillion, but still GDP per capita is not good enough. Many people will argue purchasing power parity is good, but real metric is GDP per capita. So don't get confused. Social polarization and identity politics. Many critics argue that Indian society feels more divided than before. Hindu Muslim tension, online hate speeches, aggressive political rhetoric like हम बटेंगे तो कटेंगे, and there are other more rhetorics like Modi calling Muslim youth as Pancharwala in one of his session. This is also a rhetoric talk, and it should not be expected from a prime minister of secular India. All seem to have been increased. People worry that polarization is now part of political strategy across parties, not just one. My neutral takeaway is national unity feels more fragile than before, even if supporters deny this. Another criticism, and one of the biggest criticisms, centralization of power. Modi's leadership style is wrong but strong, and it is also highly centralized. Critics say important decisions are made by a small circle. Institutions like parliament, media, investigative agencies, and court feel less independent than before. Supporters say strong leadership is necessary. Critics say it weakens check and balances. And my takeaway is this: though it is good for small run, but a decentralized good governance is far better than centralized governance. So this is my idea. Now policy implementation issues. Not all big decisions had smooth executions. Demonetization aimed to fight black money, but results are debated, and it is still debated. And I don't think the results are achieved, but there were some internal records and checks and results which government has intended to achieve, which cannot be disclosed as they are part of investigative agencies. The sudden COVID lockdown left migrant workers walking for thousands of kilometers. You can just imagine the April of 2020, how the laborers from different parts of India were migrating towards their villages. Like the hell, there were no vehicles, there was complete lockdown in India. These movements raised concern about planning and preparedness. So the government was panicked due to the COVID 19. They should have prepared it more. They should have learned about it more. Yet it caused a lot of trouble to people, but still, intention may have been high, but implementation sometimes feels short. Press freedom and civil liberties concern. Some journalists, activists, opposition leaders argue that dissent is shrinking. Raids, arrest, ED, and defamation cases increased. International press freedom rankings show India sliding downward. Supporters say strong governance require strict action. Critics say political pressure on institutions is harming democracy. And I can have an example for this also. Like this I was going to show as the things Modi governance has achieved, like internal security. This is one of the best win the Modi government has achieved is internal security. JNK. Okay, leave this. This is governance track record. But even if I'm not showing the things, the biggest concern is press freedom. Like the press index is falling very much. There are no independent press houses in India right now. Last one was NDTV, and it was also bought by Adani. And you knows the kind of bittersweet relationship between Modi, Adani, and Ambani, a trilateral axis. I'm not blaming anyone because I don't give anything without any example and evidence. But there is something fishy between them. And if we are talking about press freedom of this Modi era, there are outlets becoming Godi media. Like we can see the Aaj Tak, we can see the Z News, Republic TV, and much example. If you open any news channel, you can see Modi Bhakti there. And if you open YouTube or Twitter, you can see Papu Bhakti, Rahul Bhakti, or whatever you can see. So our media is much more polarized than anyone else. They are divided into two factions. No one is neutral in this era. No one says a thing, a good thing. No one tries to be neutral. One is with Congress and one is with BJP. So this has created a complex ecosystem in India itself. And many people will argue that press freedom is not there. Press has become a tool. So you can just go and see Neera Radia clips and you can understand it betterly. I will try to make a separate video about the press freedom and specifically this Neera Radia clips, but nevertheless. And yes, one of the biggest fin of Modi government you can see is the internal security, and under which I'm going to give an example of Naxalism, which is in the verge of extinction. Like in 1 or 2 years, Naxalism will completely wiped out from India, and it was the vision of our Home Minister Amit Shah. Modi governance has shaped India in powerful ways, both positive and negative. Supporters see him as transformational leader. Critics see him as a critics see him as a centralizing force with uneven economic outcomes. The truth is not black or white; it is a mixture, like like every long period of leadership. Understanding both sides is not weakness, and it is a maturity. It is the foundation of healthy democracy. This video is not about telling you what to think, which party to support, which faction to align. It is about giving the information you need to think yourself, to change this country. Jai Hind.